Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on Ludicrous Feed. I've got Tim here back with us.
G'day.
Hey Tim, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Got a few things to go through today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Hyundai Ioniq. It's supposed to come out next month. 3 models, the hybrid, plug-in hybrid and the full electric car. So the full electric car is supposed to be 28 kilowatt hour battery and it's got a 230 kilometer range and it's supposed to come out at $44,900. What do you think?
Yeah, I was looking because I hadn't really paid much attention to the Ioniq, and because I'd heard it was like limited range, all that sort of thing, and I was looking forward to the Kona, expecting it to be here in December, and now I've just only recently heard about the Ioniq coming. I think it's in the middle of December.
Yep.
So I'll have to go in and talk to Hyundai and see what the deal is, take it for a drive, because that's kind of compelling. Like I've got my PHEV and I'm not really happy about driving the distances that I drive on, mostly on petrol, when there's a possibility I could drive the Ioniq. But again, I didn't realise it was only 230. It's only 28 kilowatt battery.
It's tiny.
It's tiny.
But I mean, you drive a lot though. That's
so my use case is pretty rare.
Yeah. But I guess for most people in the city driving, it would be pretty good vehicle.
It'd be fantastic.
Really? This is the issue. Like, I'd love to go for a test drive as well and show you guys what it's about. But I've had a lot of people say to me, "Well, where is it?" They've called Hyundai, they've called dealers around Sydney and Australia, and no one seems to know about it, or at least they're sort of coy about it. Like, have you heard anything yourself?
Well, I've never had any particularly good luck talking to dealers about electric cars. They go, "Oh, yeah, it might come," and they try and steer you towards some petrol car. Even Kia, when I emailed Kia about the Niro, and they wrote back to me and said, "Oh, there's not the infrastructure in Australia for electric cars." And I went on my rant and said that you need to stop perpetuating the false narrative. And I sent him a picture of the PlugShare app with the
there's a lot actually.
There's a whole lot of charging. Plus, pretty much every house has got electricity to it at the moment. I'm not sure there's too many people living without electricity.
I can't imagine in cities anyway.
I can't imagine even in rural properties. Pretty much everyone has 240 volts. So that is all the infrastructure you need for a car. Exactly.
Especially if you're just driving in the city. I mean, for road trips that's different. But that's the kind of myth we need to stop perpetuating, that you can't charge a car anywhere. But if you've got a house with electricity, I think you're done.
Yeah.
So this is a call out to Hyundai. If anybody's from Hyundai is watching, I would love to chat to you on camera. And let everyone in Australia know that the Ioniq is coming out, and just give us some set dates and set times when we can test drive and all that kind of thing. I think it'd be really good for the EV revolution in this country.
Speaking about test drives, I just yesterday got a email from Jaguar about test driving the I-Pace. So I'm waiting for the email to tell me when I can actually go test drive it, but I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, Tim, the next thing I want to talk about is your fantastic video that we did with your Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV.
Yep.
I think we've got almost like 1,000 views already.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Cool. So it's done really well.
That's good.
A lot of interest in that car. Somebody asked, what is the electric range without climate control?
Well, I drive with the aircon on all the time. Winter, summer, it's just on, because in winter it'll keep the screen from fogging, and so I don't really know. It'd probably be better, but how much would it use? Maybe 1 or 2 kilowatts of energy per hour of driving. Maybe that's that time when I got 60 k's up on there. Maybe I hadn't been driving with the aircon on. Mitsubishi say it'll do 52 k's on a full electric, and mine always says around 30, so maybe that's what I'm losing, about 20 k's.
The other question someone asked was, have you driven on sand before?
I haven't driven that on, it's a soft roader. It's not really an off-road car. It is four-wheel drive. It'll go up dirt roads. It'll drive on gravel really well. You could drive it on sand, but there's only 178 mils of clearance, and sand driving you need clearance.
When we did that video, it didn't make the final cut, but we did go off-road a little bit. And
a little dirt road,
and I'll show you a clip right now.
Now there's a little dirt road here. We'll drive down a little dirt road. Sure. So we can put it on eco mode. You can put it on four-wheel drive, twin motor lock.
So now we're going off-road, ladies and gentlemen, in an electric car. Well, electric hybrid, anyway.
It handles pretty well. The rattling you're hearing in the back there.
That's your child seat.
Is my child seat.
Yeah. So ignore
that's
that.
pretty good.
And now we in electric mode currently.
Yeah. So it's even if I can put a little info thing on here. So this is for the one trip. I've done 0.6 litres per 100k. So going on the 80k road, it probably turned on every now and then. Then you've got the energy flow.
Yeah,
you can see it's in 4 drive.
Yeah. Cool.
So, yeah.
This is good. First time I've gone off-road in an electric mode. That's pretty quiet, honestly.
Yeah, it's really quiet. I'm waiting for the Bollinger B1, and I'm hoping that it will come to Australia at a reasonable, in a reasonable time, at a reasonable price.
So as you can see, it does do a bit of off-roading with your car.
Yeah, well, dirt roading.
Yeah,
it's not really off-roading.
Yeah,
I did watch a video of it doing a diagonal test where you drive up an incline at a diagonal.
Yeah,
and if one of the wheels isn't touching, that's only got a front and back differential side to side. If one wheel's off the ground, it just spins. If you're going to hit anything, you need to hit it at a bit of speed to make sure that you're keeping the wheels, keeping a bit of momentum going, which, you know, again, it's a soft roader. You don't want to be really doing that with your car.
Well, speaking of true off-roading. Now, this is right up your alley, Tim. The Rivian.
The Rivian. So it's at the LA Auto Show on yesterday, announced the R1T and the R1S.
Well, let's take a look at this clip first. All right, Tim, let's talk through the video here.
What do we got? Oh, the front. We should pause it there. Oh, look at it. That's good. I really like that design language. They've gone for something different, but not so completely different that it'll put people off. I think a fair few comments of people about those. The headlights are it's a bit too confronting for them.
Yeah.
But you know, why do you need this big reflector anymore? You don't. You've got LEDs that get a really good.
Yeah. Very true.
Oh, the gear tunnel.
What is that? Tell me about this.
That gear tunnel looks fantastic.
Yeah, extra storage space.
Extra storage space, but it's lockable storage space in a ute.
Yeah.
Or in the US they call it a pickup truck.
Yeah.
You don't have much lockable space.
Yeah.
And also you saw the front trunk there.
Yes.
It's got 380 litres, which is about double what the Teslas have.
That's amazing.
So it's huge. You can put an esky in there. You can put a whole lot of things in there, and it's lockable, which would be fantastic.
And Americans love their pickup trucks, right? I mean,
they love their pickup trucks. And this is a big truck. It's 5 meters long.
It's huge.
So it's pretty big. Now the payload is like 800 kilos, so it's not that big. And it's a square box. It's like 1.3 by 1.3 or something.
Yep.
Can't remember. So it's not really that big, but it's big enough to put a mountain bike or drop the tailgate and put a dirt bike in there. So you know, it's not a work truck. It's not for taking for carpenters and all those things, guys doing it for work, but for like competing against like the Mercedes X Class or the other utes. I get BMW. I don't think so. No. Look at this thing. Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
And there's fantastic photos too.
Look at it.
So the thing is, it's got four-wheel, four motors.
Yep.
So that means it's like the Rimac.
Yep.
The Rimac sports car. It has torque vectoring, so which is amazing for off-road.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely incredible off-road because, like my car, one wheel spinning.
Yes.
You can't stop that from happening. Whereas when you've got four motors,
no problem.
You've got no problem. It'll just stop that wheel spinning. Yeah, it's on sand, driving on sand. Now I think the clearance on that is like 300 and something, 360 mil.
That's huge.
Which is huge.
That's huge. Yeah.
It doesn't quite match up to the Bollinger B1.
Yep. Look how happy you'll be with this car. Look at him.
I'd be so happy. I sent a message on Instagram because they got the rooftop tent there on the back of the bed.
Yes.
A lot of people put them on the roof.
Yeah.
But the bonnet of that car, the only reason that bonnet is there is to cover your storage at the front.
Right.
They should make a tent in the front.
Makes sense. You got a front anyway.
Yeah. Because it's not doing anything else, that space. Yeah.
Let's look through some of these specs. So there are going to be 3 battery types across the whole range. ranging from 105 kilowatt hours to 180 kilowatt hours. So from 360 kilometers at the base end to 650 kilometers at the top end. Just for comparison's sake, the Tesla Model X, which is probably the biggest electric car at the moment on the market, has a 100 kilowatt hour battery. So already the base car for this pickup truck will have a bigger battery than the Tesla Model X top end. As you said, 330 litre cargo storage, and
that's just in the front. And then you've also got that gear tunnel.
Yes.
Which, like, they've got so many little design features in there. That gear tunnel,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure opens up to the inside, so you'll be able to pull that seat down and get things in there. But then also it's watertight.
Yep. Okay.
So it's got a fording depth of 1 metre.
Wow.
So you can get almost up to the top of the bed.
Yeah.
I guess if you went up to the top of the bed would fill with water, and that's why they say it's only 1 metre.
Yeah.
So they don't want it filling with. But the door is strong enough for you to stand on. Like,
okay.
So you can, if you've got your roof racks on the roof, you can stand up on that little door and sit, or you can sit on it, because I think it's at about right height.
Yeah.
But then also underneath it, in the door, is a little storage thing,
well.
and you could put recovery gear, or you could put a first aid kit in there.
That's clever.
It's very clever.
See what happens when you don't have an engine? You can put more stuff in the car.
Yeah,
it makes sense, right? So it's got level 3 autonomy.
I think Tesla is level 2.
Is it really? Okay.
I think technically it's level 2.
Okay, so it's actually better than the Tesla.
So, well, and again, I think that like, it's a real car, but I think that might be a little bit of vaporware. The whole autonomy thing. They're saying they can do it, but I don't know how much that is going to cost them, because they have to go to one of the, like, Mobileye or someone to get that happening. And they're talking about putting LiDAR in it as well.
Oh, right. And 0 to 60 miles an hour, which is 100 kilometers an hour, in 2.8 seconds. Like, that's just ridiculously quick for a pickup truck.
Yeah.
For a ute.
For a ute. Honestly, it's crazy.
You don't need that speed, but it's still cool to have.
Yeah.
It's going to come to the US in 2020. That's that means that we're, at least, unfortunately for you, Tim, 3 or 4 years away, I think.
Yeah, I think it'd be 2022.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, when I put my reservation down for the Model 3 in 2016.
Yeah.
And it'll be 2019 by the time it turns up. So that's
3 years.
Three and a bit years.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But you can see yourself in this car.
I can totally see myself in this car, but the market for that car in the US is huge. You think about the guys that drive those pickup trucks. It's all about performance and how good it looks. And some of them, the coal rollers, they like, having heaps of smoke coming out. So you probably won't
may not capture those ones. Yeah.
But when you pull up in your Rivian, next to a big Ford F-150, Escalade, whatever, and you can smoke them, and not just get a little bit in front of them, but absolutely smoke them. They'll be like, "What am I driving this car for?"
By the way, we don't condone that kind of driving. We really recommend safe driving on the roads generally. But going from one light to the next, keep to the speed limit. At the end of it.
There's no way that any of those the pickup truck aficionados are going to be able to compete in any of the metrics.
No, the acceleration's just too much.
Accelerating, rock crawling, because the amount of traction they're going to get, being able to modulate the how that wheel moves.
Yep.
300,000 times a second.
It's ridiculous.
It's going to have impeccable traction.
Yeah. I can see Tim getting excited here.
Oh, that's going to be great.
The future is very exciting.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a couple of things. So one of our viewers sent in some pictures of his Chevy Volt from northern Canada. This is Jean-Marc Blanchette. I hope I pronounced that right. But this is the Chevy Volt in Manitoba, in northern Canada. I mean, snow for us is just a novelty right here in Sydney.
Well, it was snowing 2 weeks ago up in Falls Creek.
Oh, yeah, okay, but in Sydney. We're talking about Sydney
it's
City.
never going to snow here.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever snowed here.
No.
But look at that, like, electric car in the snow, no problem, right? It's charging away outdoors.
Well, and also in a lot of those countries, like in Canada, I don't know, you guys could probably tell us, but they always plug their cars in anyway, because they had to keep their batteries warm and stop them freezing.
Very true.
So that whole infrastructure of having to get a plug and plug it in, it was something that lots of people did anyway.
Yep.
So, the idea of having to plug your car in wouldn't be too inconvenient for them, because if they park it outside, they're going to have to plug it in. They
do it anyway. I love the sticker. When I grow up, I want to be a Tesla. Love it. Great sticker.
I might have to get one of those for mine.
Look at that, covered in snow. Awesome.
Yeah.
And if anyone else has any pictures of your electric cars from around the world, we'd love to see it. Like, you know, it will add it to our videos, so please send them into ludicrousfeed98@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And thanks, Jean-Marc, for sending that in to us. And speaking of the Chevy Volt, we should probably talk about what's happening in the US. I believe General Motors have cut production of the Chevy Volt.
Oh, I think it's next year, or at some point. They've announced that they're not going to make the Chevy Volt anymore, and they're shuttering 3 or 4 plants.
It's huge.
I'm not sure. They've said that they're not going to be making too many electric cars, but they're going to be leading the market in electric cars.
It's sad because the Volt is the highest selling electric car of all time. Even if you take into account the Model 3 and the Nissan Leaf, yeah, it's still the number one. I mean, by the time it shuts in March or whatever next year, the 3 might take over, but at the currently it's still number one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've a hard time calling them an electric car. Yes, it does run on electricity. You can make sure the motor doesn't turn on.
Yeah.
I don't know, that mindset of, you have to have a petrol motor to get anywhere. We need to sort of remove that.
Exactly. Yeah. We shouldn't need a safety net anymore. I think, you know.
I don't think we ever needed a safety net. Yeah, it's just
you're preaching to the converted here.
Yeah, that perception of what we need, and the FUD that gets around from everyone.
Yep. No, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. And that's pretty much it for today. And I just want to thank you guys again for supporting Saw and Raw, our festival coming up on the 9th of December for Special Olympics Australia. Thank you, Tim, for donating as well. Appreciate that. And it's not too late to donate. We've got a couple of weeks to go. So I'll leave a link in my description below and also as a pinned comment. What do you think about the festival?
Yeah, you're almost beating Lamborghini, aren't you?
We're pretty close. Like I think we're $1,000 off.
Oh, someone's surely got $1,000 there. Just hit us up. 20
viewers with $50 each, 10 viewers with $100. I'm sure you're out there. So please, we've got to beat the top cars. We can't let them win.
No. You have to follow Elon and say beat them on every metric.
Everyone tweet Elon right now. Talk about this festival. I got a special personal email from the CEO of a Special Olympics actually thanking me for what I'm doing. So she was very impressed how all the viewers have donated. So guys, keep up the good work. It's been really good. Thank you so much. And I'll have obviously full coverage of that day as well. All right, Tim, anything else you want to add to this episode?
I was listening to the Driven podcast the other day. They're sponsored by Zeromo. It's a non-profit that is trying to get people to stop using petrol-powered lawn mowing and landscaping equipment, and they will lend a lawnmower or a whippersnipper to you to give it a try, to get you to try and move over from using really stinky petrol gardening equipment.
And loud too. Those things are loud, right? Full stroke.
Yeah. Leaf blowers. If we could just get rid of leaf blowers and have the electric ones, it'd be fantastic.
Sounds really good. Sounds like a good cause. I'll leave a link as well in the description below for that.
Excellent.
All right, Tim, thanks very much for joining us. Very informative as usual. Guys, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on any of the things we discussed today. And beautiful day in Sydney, as you can see. It's a great spot, this one. It's a very special place. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully it's a lovely day wherever you are in this world. And as always, happy charging.
Yeah, that front end looks good. The charge port I'm a little concerned about.
Yeah.
It's right on the front there. If you're off-roading, people put bull bars and things there.
Yeah.
The interior looks just impeccable.
It's gorgeous, right?
It's like it'll compete with the Range Rovers and Mercedes quite easily. In the back there, you saw that little green light. That's a power point.
Okay.
Got the gear tunnel there. You can fit a whole lot of...
I see what I mean. The door goes down. You can step on it.
You can step on it, and then you can fit...
It's a huge frunk.
And they've got all those little hooks for your bags, for your shopping.
Awesome.
The screen, there's another screen at the bottom there, you can't see it, but for the back passengers to adjust things. And that tailgate actually folds down vertically, so 180 degrees, and it has a little step on it. So you can step up into it, or you can sit down in the back of it. I don't know, if you're snowboarding, you put your snowboard boots on.
Great for any outdoor activity, really.
Yeah, well, that's what they've aimed at.
Yeah. And Australia, it would be perfect for our market, honestly.
I think it'd be amazing. Like, we're not... Like, people talk about big distances in Australia, but we're not actually that far away. Like, I would love to take this car across Australia, drive from Byron Bay, all the way off across to Steep Point in Western Australia. It would be fantastic, and you could do it. And you could do it in this because it's being electric motor. It's more efficient the slower you run. With the petrol motors, like a Land Cruiser, they've got, you know, they say they've got 1,500k range on their 140 litre tank, but this is going to be more efficient the slower it goes. So driving really slowly, it's got a 600k range. You're driving really slowly, hypermiling it, you'll get at least 1,000, 1,200 k's.
It's true.
Whereas in a Land Cruiser, it's going to lose a whole lot of range. It'll probably, at most, on that 140 litre tank, get maybe 900 k's.
It's the opposite philosophy to a petrol, really.
Yeah, opposite philosophy. Yeah, completely. You know, you put a little solar panel in there to keep all your fridge running, all that sort of thing.
It's great.
It'd be amazing.
This, I mean, when I was in the US last year, the pickup trucks there are bigger than our utes, right? They're like,
they're huge.
They're
like I've seen,
monstrous.
mind you, some of them are coming here as well.
Are they?
Okay. I've seen the big Raptors and
the Rams, right?
There's Ram trucks now, and the big Ford F-150 Ranger. They're huge, but this thing is, I'm sure it's going to take on that market really well, which means it's not going to come to Australia for a hell of a lot longer. Which is very unfortunately.
Cool. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of the energy revolution. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. If you're about to buy a Tesla, use my promo code Thomas7208 to score 6 months of free supercharging. Happy charging!